watching The Breakdown with the fight analyst Garrett Kerman.
And welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown. I am your host, the fight analyst Garrett Kerman. And here with us is our special guest, Aaron Short Fuse Hughes. What's up, man? Thank you so much for coming on the show. How's it going?
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me on the show. It's going real good. I'm real excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Man, I'm glad that you're here. You're here to help us break down UFC Vegas 31. Thank you so much for that. But before we get into the breakdown, we gotta know you got a fight coming up very, very shortly at New England Fights coming up. I want to know, how is your training going? How's preparation going? How's it all going, man?
Yeah, I'm fighting August 21st in Milford, New Hampshire against another undefeated opponent. His name is Jacob Detmeyer. He's 1-0 also. Training's going really good, man. Going back down to 145. Haven't made it since I was an amateur in 2018. But I'm fucking feeling ready to go. Training with some savages and at Regiment Training Center. I'm leaving this Sunday for 2 weeks to go train at Team Alpha Male with Uriah Faber, Cody Garbrandt, Andre Feely, all those savages down there. So pretty excited about that, and I'm just ready to get back in there and scrap, man, let my skills show.
Oh, absolutely, man. I was very impressed with your first pro MMA fight. I know, like I said, I've been following you for a very long time. I knew what it took for you to finally get, your first pro MMA fight. You had some, a lot of shit going on, during the pandemic and, and this and that. So, how did it feel to finally, get in there and, and get that hard fought win?
Yeah. I mean, the emotions are pretty much like undescribable. I always tell people, like, you train so hard, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, just for that 10-second feeling, like that 10 seconds where you're just like, and then it just goes away and it's like nothing happened. And it's like, wow, that's it. But that little 10-second feeling, like it's more intense than like any high, any drug. Like it's just like such a relieving feeling. Like I just kind of broke down in tears. I just like couldn't stop crying. I was just so happy because I worked so hard, and I traveled 1,000 miles. I fought a guy in his hometown. They were bringing me in to lose, and yeah, it's crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot about Valor. They tend to bring guys in from all over the place to, to fight their local guys. I had, Peter Petties, who's my boy. I mean, had a close call there as well. So, yeah, I mean, I know that's super hard. I know the crowd was against you and, the emotions were running through you, but you fucking showed up. You showed out. It was a very impressive performance. And then, you got your fight coming up in a month and a half. I'm totally looking forward to that. So so what have you been doing, in preparation wise, getting ready for this fight? Have you really done some research on your opponent? Do you know what you need to do to get this win?
Yeah, so this is actually the first training camp that I'm not working. Like I'm training full time. I'm training 3 times a day. Training in the morning, like 10, 11 a.m. with the Ultimate Fighter standout, Mitch Raposo, like every day, Monday through Friday. And then I train at night at 6 and 7. So I'm training 3 times a day. But I feel like I have so much more time to just focus on the fight, focus on eating right. Like I literally wake up, I teach a bunch of private lessons, I train, I take a nap, I recover, I train again, So this is the first time that I've ever actually been able to just focus on training, not waking up at 6 a.m. every day, going to work, dealing with these asshole kids that I work with. Like, very stressful job, So it's definitely a big confidence booster. As for my opponent, I've definitely watched some footage. Seems like he lacks a little bit in the wrestling and the grappling department. He comes and he throws bombs. He comes to fight. He puts a good pace, very good in the clinch. But I'm coming to show you, bro, like there's levels to this shit. And this kid is just not on my level. He's not on my level on the ground. He's not on my level on the feet. I'm just going to pick my shots, pick and move, take those legs, use my footwork, my angles, and I'm probably gonna get him out of there in the first round, second round.
I like it, man. Like I've been watching your footage because you always put it out there. I'm a fan, so I get to look at it. You're looking crisp, you're looking good, you're looking fast. You're looking the best that you've really ever looked. I think you've been, been progressing a lot. Is that really because of who you're surrounding yourself with? Because Regiment is really on the up and up. You guys are really producing some high level talent coming up. So is that really what's really pushing you? To the next level?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's all about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Like, I'm surrounded every day by people who want this just as bad as I do. Mitch Raposo, like, pretty much already in the UFC, fought in the Ultimate Fighter. Got, like, Chris Mutino just had a crazy fight against Sean O'Malley. Like, they want it so bad, like, they're training all the time. I'm training with them consistently. They're kicking my ass all the time, but it's just getting me better and better. And whatever they learn, they're like, yo, check out this new technique I just tried. So it's just always a constant grind of improvement, So it's definitely surrounding myself with like-minded people that have brought me to a different level. Like Mitch came back from the Ultimate Fighter, and he was like a completely different animal. Like sparring with him now was like, oh my god, like bro, get off me, leave me alone, But he brings that skill and that talent to me, and I can just feel myself getting better and better and better. Like not just in striking, but in grappling, in wrestling. So being with those guys where you're the nail every day and they're the fucking hammers. Like it's impossible to not get better. So
right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, like you said, Mitch came on off the Ultimate Fighter. You have Chris, who's now kind of nicknamed the Zombie after his crazy performance that he had.
Rocking the shirt. Look at this.
Oh man, I like it. I like that. Is that a new shirt that he's got out now?
He made it like a few fights ago, I think. But yeah.
I definitely got to see if that's out there. Got to cop one of those. But man, I wanted your take on on their performances. I know things didn't go either one of their ways, but how do you think they did in both of their fights?
I'm gonna try to say this from a non-biased perspective, okay? Because Mitch is one of my best friends. I train with the kid every single day, and I've been training with the kid for 7 years. I was actually very impressed with his performance. I was very surprised at Ludwig's ability to hold him down, because Mitch is very hard to hold down. He's got very good scrambles, and he didn't show it in the fight, but he can fucking wrestle his ass off. His striking looked incredible. He was slipping, hitting to the body real well. I think if he would have been a little bit more urgent when he got taken down to maybe play jiu-jitsu or just stay patient, I definitely think he could have won the fight. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Can't change the past. I thought he looked very good. Volkanovski thought he looks very good. I mean, Volkanovski is like telling the UFC, like, you need this kid. So at the end of the day, he lost, but I don't think he has anything to really hang his head about. I think he fights that kid again. He finishes him. Honestly. As for Chris, that guy's just fucking out of his mind. It was kind of funny. Like going into the fight, I'm like, all right, like Chris is very good. He's gonna bring a pace. I'm like, he does get hit a lot, but he's got a chin. He's very hard to. I've hit Chris as hard as I could, and he put his hands down and stepped forward, and I'm like, oh my god. So I knew he was going to be able to put a pace. I didn't think he was going to get hit 280 times. But he was I thought he was doing a good job at pushing the pace, staying in his face. When he was kicking the legs, he was having a lot of success. I thought it was pretty savage that he was like talking shit the whole time and he was flipping off the
Oh, that's
court.
great.
My coach told him in between rounds, like, Chris, like, mixing the takedown and he looked right at me and said, "Coach, I'm not shooting. I'm standing and banging." So, like, that's a straight savage because Chris is a really good wrestler, and he's very good in the clinch. So I was very surprised, but hey, he got 130,000 followers and $75,000 extra in the bank. So
exactly,
can really complain.
Yeah.
And I think he's looking at going to flyweight. So he's gonna.
Yes.
I think he's a problem for a lot of those flyweights because he brings a pace that a lot of guys can't keep up with. Like, if you're not knocking him out, he's gonna keep coming. You know what I'm saying? So
right. No,
if Sean O'Malley can't knock him out, I can't see any really of the flyweights knocking him out. So you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be in their face, and he's gonna break some people. That's why they call him soulless, because he fucking takes people's souls.
Bro, that man is crazy. It sucks they didn't get the win, but I mean, the crazy part is his stock, rose even more than where it was, and that's the crazy part. Even with the loss, yeah, he lost, but he got paid. He got all these followers. Everyone knows who the fuck he is now. Now he's going to start getting more fights because everybody wants to see him fight because of, the kind of brutality that he brings to the table. So it's great for him. And then as far as Mitch goes, I think he's absolutely UFC caliber. I said that before he made it to onto the Ultimate Fighter. I honestly thought he was going to win it all. It is what it is. It's a learning thing, and he's obviously just going to grow from there. And I do think he's eventually going to get in the UFC. I think he's top level talent. And I do think he's also one that could possibly go down to flyweight and really show off, just like Chris will as well. So I'm looking forward to both of them. Regiment is on the up and up, like I said. You're the next one, man. You just need a couple more, there, and then you're gonna make it as well. I have the feeling, like I said, I've been following you from the get-go. We've been boys for a while now, so I'm happy to finally see you, hit your stride and you just keep on going. As far as after this fight, what are we going to expect from you? Win or lose, what could we expect from you after, moving forward after this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking it one fight at a time. And honestly, like, it puts a lot of stuff in perspective for me, seeing my boys, like, making it to the UFC, fighting on fucking pay-per-view. My teammate Jorgen fucking in Australia. Yeah, Brian Raposo. That's my head kickboxing coach. But yeah, it puts a lot of stuff in perspective, and like I feel like I'm starting to get my name out there. Like, I was scheduled to fight for Bellator. Unfortunately, I ended up getting injured. It sucks because that kid got knocked out in 10 seconds. I think I would have.
Yeah,
I would have put a beating on that kid, and I probably could have got a contract. But at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, man. So I'm just taking it one fight at a time. I'm not focused on the future. I'm focused on now. But win or lose, man, I promise you're gonna see me fight at the highest level, man. Whether it's the UFC, whether it's Bellator, whether it's ONE, or whether it's PFL. I know I have the skills. I train with high level guys every single day. I know the skills are there. I just got to show up on fight day, and I'm going to be a problem for anybody.
Oh, absolutely, man. I said that, and I knew it. Like, I have a knack for like talent. I follow some guys that I know they got the heart, and I know I got the skills, and I knew, you could put it all together, and you're getting there. You're there. You want to know now. You're about to be 2-0. I do believe in you. You're going to get this win coming up shortly as well. I'm just hoping you can rattle off a couple more wins before 2021 is done. Get a quick win here, get another fight in a couple months, and get right back into it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly love to, if the Ultimate Fighter comes back, if I can get like 2 wins, 3 wins. They do 45 or 55. I'd love to be on that show, man. Preferably at 55, but I would honestly love to be on that show. But if not, the Contender Series, I've always done better fighting with smaller crowds or no crowd, So I feel like the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter would be great for me, And but take it one step at a time. We'll see what happens,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we're gonna get into the little breakdown portion of this week's, of this episode. for UFC Vegas 31. So with that said, we're going to start off on the preliminary card. And our first fight up, if I can get this working, it's a fight in the heavyweight division between Alan Bordeaux and Rodrigo Nascimento. Right now, Nascimento is a minus 355 favorite, and the comeback on our Bordeaux is plus 270 underdog. What do you got in this one?
I'm gonna go with Rodrigo, and I don't know anything about either guy, but I'm gonna go with Rodrigo because I like his name, and he's a very big favorite, so that's why I'm gonna go with him.
All right, makes sense. This is a tough matchup. I definitely don't want to lay minus 355 on Rodrigo, as we can see that he really does not like to get hit. He's not a good striker. He got absolutely floored by Chris Dawkins in his last fight. Bordeaux is actually a pretty decent striker. He trains with Cyril Gane. Obviously, he doesn't train with him now, at least I don't think. He trains over at MMA Factory in Paris, France. He's very unorthodox, throws a lot of spinning attacks. But the thing is, his ground game is atrocious, and that's where Rodrigo Nascimento's forte is. It is in his grappling. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I think 7 of his 8 wins are by submission, or at least 6 of them. So pretty much if Rodrigo gets his fights in the mat, it's over. But if this fight stays standing, I think Bordeaux wins. So it's a really toss-up. But if I had to choose, I'd probably go with Nascimento. I'm not betting either side, but I do like the under 1.5 rounds. I think it's at minus 145. I think both of these guys don't really go over 1.5 rounds. I think majority of the fights have gone under. So I'm taking the under minus 150, under 1.5 rounds at minus 145. I think that's my favorite bet on that fight. All right, next up we have a fight in the flyweight division between Little Figgy, Francisco Figueiredo, and Malcolm Gordon. Right now, Figueiredo is a minus 310 favorite, and the comeback on Gordon's a plus 240 underdog. What do you got?
I gotta go with Figueiredo, man. Malcolm Gordon, I think he's 0-3 in the UFC. He hasn't really shown much. He gets hit. He kind of shells a bit, which is expected. Nobody really wants to get punched in the face. But if Figueiredo fights anything like his brother, he's gonna be a savage. He's gonna put the pace, throw bombs nonstop, and he's gonna look for the finish. So I say Figueiredo probably finishes him in round 1.
Yeah, I think that's likely as well. I think, having his, brother in his corner really to help him. Gordon, like you said, shells up a lot. I've never seen anybody get hit once and just be like, okay, I'm done. Literally one time, that was it, in his first fight in the UFC. And I was quite high on him. I thought, he was a pretty good underdog there, but, unfortunately, he just doesn't like to get hit. Some people thrive on it, like your boy, and some people just don't like it. Unfortunately, Gordon doesn't like it. Majority of the time, he's getting his wins off his back due by submission. I think Figueiredo is going to take this win. I think he's going to get it done inside the distance, and I like the under 2.5 rounds at minus 137, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think there's a finish either way. Majority of the fights by both these guys are done inside the distance. And I'm pretty sure all but 1 or 2 of Malcolm Gordon's fights, win or lose, have gone under 2.5 rounds. So he's either getting finished or he's getting the finish. So I'm taking under 2.5 rounds as my safe bet on here. All right. And our next fight up is in the bantamweight division between Miles Johns and Anderson Dos Santos. Right now, Johns is a minus 194 favorite, and the comeback on Dos Santos is the plus 156 underdog. Who do you got?
I'm definitely taking Miles Johns. He's a savage, man. He's got great boxing combinations. I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but he's shown a pretty good ability to scramble when put in situations like that. And he fought on the Contender Series, right? Miles Johns,
right,
against Richie Santiago, someone that I actually have trained with quite a few times, and he kind of put on a masterclass performance. He's got great boxing, man. Yeah, I don't know much about the guy that he's fighting, but I know Miles Johns is a beast. And what I think he's what is he 3-1, 2-1 in the UFC or something like that.
Yeah.
I say he's probably gonna finish him in round 2. I think.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm actually I'm pretty confident in John's abilities. I was very high in him coming into his fight against I think it wasn't Mario Batista. I forgot who it was, but it was a short coming out of the fight, but then he progressed against Kevin Natividad. He looked really good, and I actually had Natividad in that fight as an underdog. I thought Natividad normally comes to fight, he throws some bombs, and I thought Johns would be caught off guard because he got ended in his fight before that against Jonathan Martinez, right? But he came back. He looked phenomenal, and I think he's just gonna progress from here. Dos Santos, he's not known for his striking. Striking's okay, not great. He's known for his jiu-jitsu. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. Showed that in his last fight against Martin Day. When Martin Day went for a takedown, he got the guillotine choke mid-air. It was pretty fucking phenomenal. It was a great submission win. But then again, Dos Santos hasn't fought a ton. I think he's only 1-2 in the UFC. He's been in the UFC for a while now, and he's only fought 3 times. So I'm taking Johns here. I feel fairly confident in his abilities. I think he rolls here and finally gets on a win streak in the UFC.
I did not know. I actually just looked this up. I did not know he fought Adrian Yanez and won via split decision. Adrian Yanez is a savage too. Miles Johns trains at Fortis, and that's a great school. They got a lot of guys in the UFC. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with my pick, round 2 TKO.
Yeah, I like it. I definitely like that there. I think he gets to win as well. All right. Next up, we have a fight in the bantamweight division as well. In a fight between Khalid Taha and Sergey Morozov. Right now, Taha is a minus 158 favorite, and the comeback on Morozov is a plus 128 underdog. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Taha, and the only reason I'm gonna take Taha is because I know him and I don't know the other guy. But I'm gonna take Taha. He's been in the UFC for a while. I think he's gonna get it done, man.
I'm
gonna say he's gonna win by decision.
That's this is a tough fight to call. I placed a bet on Sergey Morozov because I kind of liked his dog odds here. We've seen Taha. He's a good fighter. He's got some really good boxing. Got some really good power. Very stocky guy. But what we've seen from him, he definitely he tends to get grappled a lot. He gives up a ton of takedowns. And Morozov, he tends to lose to guys that grapple with him. He lost to Nurmagomedov in his last fight. He got submitted in round 2. No fault there, obviously. And then we got who else he fought, but the other guy he fought, he's also in the UFC. He's one of the premier guys at 145 pounds. Very good grappler there as well. And Morozov's a good grappler himself. So if Morozov comes in there and goes in and tries to grapple, I think he has a very easy path to victory. The thing is with Morozov, he doesn't do well against pressure fighters, and that's what Taha is. So it's going to be a clash between two fighters that have their weaknesses. So it's going to be good to see what happens between the two. But I'm taking the shot on the dog here. It's a toss up, but I like the dog odds on Morozov.
Is Morozov Russian?
He's from Kazakhstan.
Okay, I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna say he's gonna get it done by decision via WrestleFuck.
I mean, it's definitely possible. All right. Next up in the women's strawweight division, we have a fight between Amanda Lemos and Montserrat Ruiz. Right now, Lemos is a minus 520 favorite in the comeback on Ruiz, a plus 370 underdog. Who do you got in this one?
I gotta go with the major favorite on this one. I mean, they don't just make people huge favorites like that for no reason. So I think she's going to be the more well-rounded, more skilled fighter. I think she has more fights in the UFC.
Correct. Yes.
If I'm not wrong. Won her last fight by first round knockout. So I'm assuming that she's going to just come in there. She's going to put this girl away quick. Yeah. Probably first round finish.
Yeah, I kind of go with the same here. Lemos is actually a pretty decent striker. She used to fight at 135 pounds, and then she lost her first fight in the UFC. Then she got popped for a suspension. I think she was out for about 2 years, and then she's now rattling off 3 wins in a row at 115 pounds. Now she's ranked in 14th. Ruiz comes in, coming off her first UFC debut win, which was a big upset win over Cheyenne Baez. Was very impressive, kind of. And majority of the time, she was just doing a head and arm throw and just getting inside control and just kind of holding her there. Her striking is not great.
That. And she was like talking shit to her after.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah. Her striking is at the best. It's not great. It's not the worst. But if she doesn't have the head and arm throw, I don't know how she's winning this fight. I think Lemos is going to be able to piece her up on the feet. She's much bigger than her. She's 4 inches taller. She's got a 4-inch reach advantage. She throws much more combinations. She's got power. She pretty much, this is a tailor-made fight for her to get another win, riding a 4-fight win streak. I think she's a decent prospect. She's going to be 10-1 if she gets this win here as well. I think she's a pretty good fighter. I think she can crack it to the top 10 after this win as well. All right, next up, we have a fight at 170 pounds between Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez and Preston Pressure Parsons. Right now, Rodriguez is a minus 310 favorite to come back on Parsons, a plus 240 underdog. What do you got?
I gotta go with Daniel Rodriguez here. He's a savage on the feet. He beat the shit out of Mike Perry. I know that's not really saying much, but he's a legit striker on the feet. Good. He's a good counter striker, but he's also good coming forward also. I think he's training over at Syndicate right now. Right. He's very skilled on the feet. He's probably going to put this guy to sleep, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I'm going with D-Rod as well. It's going to be a tough fight for Parsons to come in on short notice. I know he just fought last month. Parsons is a grappler by trade. You can't really get too much footage on his striking. That's how much grappling he does. I think you got a total of maybe 3 minutes of striking footage of him. The majority of his wins are by submission. He's been knocked out by Mike Perry back in the day as well. He's got a decent win over Ignacio Bahamondes, but he was only 2-0 at the time. Very, very green. And then he's just pretty much going to come in there and try to grapple, D-Rod to the ground. D-Rod has never been submitted in his entire career. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. So he's very well versed on the ground. I do think he might get some takedowns. He might get some, top control, but I feel like D-Rod's gonna be able to get back up. I've watched the tape. I've seen Parsons. He's given up positions before. He's tried to get in hooks in and he's fallen off. He's very sloppy. He's more of a jiu-jitsu guy than he is a control grappler. So he's going for submissions over position, and normally he's losing those positions. He's gonna lose positions here. And majority of the time when D-Rod gets taken down, it's in the middle of the cage. And majority of the time that Parsons gets a takedown, it's against the cage. I don't see him being able to get takedowns against the cage against D-Rod. He's very good at using the cage to get up and stay up and using the underhooks. So I'm thinking D-Rod's going to absolutely piece him up on the feet. Parsons is also very susceptible to straight punches down the pipe, and he's very heavy on the lead leg. And majority of those kicks from D-Rod is going to land, especially to the body, because he uses a very high guard for the head kicks, and then a ton of those lead leg calf kicks are going to be money for D-Rod. So I got D-Rod here minus 310. I threw him in a couple of parlays. I think he's going to cash here for us.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, this is a banger of the fight. This is our first fight on the main card. Great way to start the main card. We have a fight between Gabriel Benitez and Billy Quarantillo. at 145 pounds. Right now, Benitez is a minus 168 favorite, and the comeback on Quarantillo is a plus 136 underdog. What do you got?
So I was just doing some research. It seems like Benitez has been in the UFC for a while. He has a lot of fights. He's been in the UFC since 2014. But Billy Q's a savage on the ground, man. He's very good. But I think that maybe Benitez's experience. I think his experience is gonna show here, and he's probably gonna get the dub done. I know Billy Q just lost to Gavin Tucker. That was a pretty good fight, but Tucker kind of put it on him a little bit. I think in the stand-up, Billy might be a little bit outmatched. If he can get him to the ground, though, maybe get a submission. He's very good on the ground, but I'm gonna go with Benitez.
Yeah, this is a tough fight. This is gonna be an all-action type fight. It's definitely one that you're not gonna want to miss. This is arguably one of my favorite, obviously my favorite fight on the card. It's gonna be back and forth brawl. Benitez, he's a come forward fighter. He loves to brawl. He loves to get into it with anybody. He's coming off a very vicious knockout of Justin James. Benitez did lose. He did lose his 20% of his purse because he missed weight. It came in extremely heavy, but that was due to, I think, the lingering effects of COVID or having, some health issues. It is what it is. I'm pretty sure he's going to come in, right on point, 145 pounds, 146 pounds. Billy, he's ready to go. I mean, that dude is always in shape. He's got the cardio. He can push the pace. He can put the pressure. He's always got it for 15 minutes. He goes hard. As long as he can weather the early storm, Benitez, I think he could possibly get it done. He really needs to use his grappling here. I do think if he uses his grappling, he's going to have a ton of success. On the feet, I do favor Benitez a little bit. I do think he throws the heavier shots. I do think he throws very vicious leg kicks, even though he got checked against Omar Benitez and shattered his shin and was bleeding. It was disgusting. But other than that, yeah, it was one of the nastiest cuts you would ever see on a shin that ever. It was insane. But man, this is a hard fight. I don't want to go against Billy, so I'm gonna have to side with Billy. But it's a very hard fight. I'm gonna go with Billy to get it done, and I hope he gets back into the win column. He's 8-1 in his last 9 fights. This is the first fight he lost against Gavin Tucker, who is a perennial top 15, top 20 fighter. So there's no really fault there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Billy Q to get back into the win column, and I hope he gets it done. So let's get it. All right, next up, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Rodolfo Vieira and Dustin Stoltzfus. Right now, Vieira is a minus 245 favorite, and the comeback on Stoltzfus is a plus 194 underdog. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go with Rodolfo Vieira by submission in this one. His first fight, he seemed to gas out. He kind of dominated the first round. And then I believe he got submitted in the second. Was it the second round? I think. Second
round, right.
But he kind of dominated the first round. Got a lot of takedowns. Had a lot of control. He ended up getting submitted due to gassing out, which is crazy because he's a jiu-jitsu world champion. I actually remember Joe Rogan. He's like, "Oh my God, this is insane! He just submitted him," or whatever the hell he was saying. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's worked on his pace and pacing himself. He's probably going to submit this guy, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I mean, they're both grapplers by trade. Stoltzfus is, he's a jiu-jitsu guy as well. He's never been submitted, but doesn't mean, he hasn't really faced this type of, jiu-jitsu fighter in his MMA career ever. It boils down to what kind of, cardio that Vieira has got. But I think he was going through a ton of shit during that last fight. I think he lost a family member. I just think he wasn't all there, and that's kind of why he had the type of fight that he did. I think he's better. He looks like he's in a better headspace now. He says he's got his cardio on point. We'll see. But I do think he goes in there. He gets the takedown, and he gets the job done. I just think he's just an all around better fighter, and he's an absolute freak of nature. I don't have no idea how that guy, if he makes 185 pounds, he looks like a light heavyweight. It really does. The dude's got insane muscles. But we'll see how it happens. But I have here taking this fight and probably getting it inside the distance as well. All right, next up, we have a fight in the lightweight division between Jeremy Stephens and Mateusz Gamrot. Right now, Gamrot is a minus 220 favorite, and the comeback on Stephens is a plus 176 underdog. Who do you got? I can't really hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you. It's weird. You good? Can you hear me? Hold on. Let me try. Because I can hear the background noise, but I can't hear you, which is weird. Well, let me remove you and try to get you back. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, I can't hear you. What the hell? What happened? Hello?
I hate to go against Jeremy Stephens, man. He's been in the UFC for so long, and he's got fight-changing power. He can. Can you hear me?
Okay, this is weird. Hold on.
Hello?
One second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Talk.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, you good? No. This is weird. It's literally just replaying what you were just saying. It's so weird. But anyways, can you talk? Okay, he'll be back. We'll be back. Technical difficulties, everybody. We're going so good. We're up to the last 3 fights of the card. But anyways, let me keep going. I'm really liking Mateusz Gamrot in this fight. He's going up against Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens 0-4 in his last 4 fights, moving up in weight, 155 pounds. He used to fight at 145, obviously. He's been in a rut, Stephens, I feel like the wear and tear is getting to him. The fights are getting to him. We'll see what kind of shape he's in at 155 pounds, but there was a reason why he went down to 145 in the first place, and that's because he was getting up. Our man's back.
I had to sign in on my phone. I don't know. I think something.
No, you sound great right now.
Yeah, I had to sign in on my phone. I don't know what happened.
No, you're good. No, don't sweat it. I mean, if you wanna give your take on this fight, go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was saying. Hold on, I'm trying to get full screen here.
No, you good.
I was saying before I was rudely disconnected that it's very hard for me to bet against Jeremy Stephens. He's been in the UFC for so long. He has fight-changing power, and he's gonna continue to come no matter what. His grappling, I feel, is very underrated too. His fight against Yair, that was one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. He kind of got fucked up in the first round, but in the second round, he came out to show, bro, I'm here. I'm here to fight. I don't know much about his opponent. I know he's 1-1 in the UFC. I think Jeremy has too much experience for this guy, man, and either a close decision or Jeremy knocks him out.
I feel you on that. I mean, and I totally get it. I mean, because he does have a load of experience. I just think that Jeremy Stephens is towards the end of his career. He's 0-4 in his last 4 fights. He's moving up in weight to 155 pounds because he can't make 145 anymore. He hasn't had a knockout in almost 4 years. He hasn't had a knockdown in almost 4 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
as well. So, it's all these things piling up coming into his fight. He's only got 65% takedown defense. There's a reason why he moved down to 145. It's because of the fact that he was getting out grappled by guys that were much bigger and much stronger than him. In comes Moises Gamrot, who's a very, very good grappler, Polish wrestling grappling champion, also an ADCC champion as well, purple belt. He's got the grappling. He got a knockout win over Scott Holtzman. I know he's 1-1 in his UFC time, but in that first fight, he definitely won that fight. Even the guy Garam Kutaladze, he was actually pissed that he won the fight because of the fact that he knew he lost the fight, because he knew that he lost. So technically, he should be 2-0. He should be 19-0 in his MMA career. He was a KSW lightweight champion. He beat Norman Park over there at KSW, which is a guy who's got actually known in MMA. So, I mean, he's fought decent competition on that circuit as well. I think this is a come out fight for Gamrot. And if he gets this win, this is arguably the biggest win of his career. He can finally start fighting guys into, in the top 15. There's a reason why they're giving him Jeremy Stevens, because after only 3 fights, this is only his 3rd fight in the UFC. They think highly of him. He's training at American Top Team. I think Mike Brown should be in his corner, I would assume. So he's getting in a world's load of, experience training down here at Coconut Creek. So I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's a future contender. And he's got the it factor. He's got everything. He's got the striking. He's got the grappling. It's just if he can avoid getting clipped. That's the only thing that I'm a little bit afraid of, because he got knocked down in his first fight, but it's his first UFC fight. All the anxiety, all the emotions were going through his head, I'm sure, and I don't think he was really training at American Top Team at that point. I think after that fight, he switched camps and came down here at American Top Team. So I'm hoping he gets it done. Minus 220. I'm really big on him. I got a lot of money on him as well. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm going with Moises Gamrot to get the W here. All right, in our co-main event, we have a fight between Miesha Tate, the return of Miesha Tate almost 5 years later after retiring, taking on the retiring Marion Renault. Right now, Tate's a minus 144 favorite, and the comeback of Renault is a plus 118 underdog. Yeah,
I'm actually very surprised that the odds are this close. I think Marion Renault is 44 years old. She hasn't won a fight in 4 years. Her last win was actually a submission against Sarah McMahon, which I didn't know until I just looked it up.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
But I think that Miesha Tate seems to be in probably the best shape that she's ever been in. Seems like she's taken her return very serious, and she's a former world champion. She's fought the best of the best. She's fought Holly Holm. She fought Ronda twice. She fought Nunes. She's fought some good people. And she's tough, and she's gonna continue to come. Her striking has never been too great. I would say that she's probably gonna come out mixing her striking, mixing some takedowns. I don't think she'll get submitted. She's pretty good on the ground. I know Ronda subbed her twice, but it's fucking Ronda fucking Rousey. She was submitting everybody, Right. I say Miesha gets the job done by decision.
Yeah, I'm going with you with that as well. I'm pretty hefty, involved in Tate here. I think it's a mix of. I think she's better than her. I know there's going to be ring rust there. She does look like she's in the best shape of her life. I've seen her Instagram stories, and her veins are popping out of her freaking head for all of that. He just looks good. She looks in shape. She looks determined. She looks ready to go. She looks like she's getting a new life, a new love for the the game for the fight game again. She's loving it again. She fell out of it, and I'm sure that happens to fighters that, dedicated their lives to this for a while. And, sometimes, you need a break, and she needed that break. She became a mother of 2. She got married. Life happens, but then she's back. She's ready to go. And I think this is a very winnable fight for her. If you also think about it, Marion Renault would not be on the roster if she wasn't fighting Miesha Tate. She's on a 4-fight losing streak. She's 44 years old. She hasn't won since 2018. It just everything's stacking up against her. This is her retirement fight. She's already said she's retiring after this fight. This is not her full-time job. She's also a gym teacher, if I'm not mistaken. And also, on top of it, she has her son cornering her in her last fight as well. So, if you put all these things and stack it up together, I just have to fade Marion Renault here, especially at the odds that you're giving me at -144. I think that's really good odds to fade on a retiring jiu-jitsu fighter. I love fading retiring jiu-jitsu fighters. Jacare Souza, I forgot who else. Damian Maia is another one who should be retiring. I faded him as well. Alan Patrick, he should be retiring. He didn't do well in his last fight. Those are the type of fighters I love to fade. And I'm fading Marion Renault here, especially at -144. And she's not only 9-7-1. It's not like she has a great record either. 0-4 in the last 4. Yeah, give me Tate here, and let's cash out. All right, we're finally up to our main event. Our main event is stacked in the lightweight division between Islam Makhachev and Thiago Moises. Right now, Makhachev is a -650 favorite, and the comeback on Moises is a +450 underdog. Who you got in this one?
I gotta go with Islam. It's very hard to bet against Islam. Moises is on a 3-fight winning streak. He beat Michael Johnson, but Michael Johnson was kind of giving him the hands. Up until the finish. He beat Bobby Green. He beat Alex Fernandez. But besides that, he hasn't really shown up too well. He's got 3 losses in the UFC. Makhachev trains with Khabib. He trains at AKA. He's shown that he can, he's a very good grappler, very good wrestler, but he's shown an ability to be able to strike. He's got pretty good hands, decent power, and we already know about his grappling. He's probably gonna come out and put on a grappling clinic, a la Khabib style. I'm gonna predict a rear naked choke finish.
Damn, that's gonna be impressive. If he gets that done, especially. I get to give props to Moises. A lot of people are ducking Makhachev because it's Makhachev. I mean, he's a protege of Khabib. He is like a polar. He's literally the same type of fighter, except I think he's got a little bit better striking than Khabib. This is gonna be a really tough fight for him. I know Moises looked really good against Alexander Hernandez, but the 2 fights before that, he looked really bad against Michael Johnson. He looked really bad against Bobby Green. And I think Makhachev is just going to do what he does. Take him down, control him, and just beat him up for the entirety of the fight. He's got the cardio to do it for 25 minutes. And I just think Moises is just going to he's out of his element in this fight. And I think it's just going to be overwhelmed. He's pretty much going to have to clip Makhachev coming in. And pretty much that's the only way he's going to be able to do it. I know Moises has never been, finished, especially submitted, because he is a jiu-jitsu black belt. But, this is an extremely high-level caliber fighter, much higher than anybody he's ever fought in his entire career. So it's good. It's like you said, it's really hard to go against Makhachev here. I think he gets the win, and just keeps moving up. And eventually he's going to get a title shot, and eventually he probably is going to be, the champion. It's hard for him not to be the champion. He's just got the it factor. He's got the grappling, he's got the striking. So, yeah, that's what we got. So that's our breakdown for UFC Vegas 31. Before we go, my man, Aaron, Short Fuse Hughes, where can everybody find you on social media? If you got any sponsors, shout them out. The floor is yours, my man.
Find me on Instagram, Aaron Hughes 145. Twitter, Aaron Hughes MMA. Facebook is just Aaron Hughes. Shout out to my team, always Regiment Training Center. There's a lot of fucking keyboard warriors out there talking shit, saying that our team sucks and blah, blah, blah. But we got 3 guys in the UFC. I don't know about y'all, but y'all fucking sitting at home eating your fucking Cheetos and shit, you know? So shout out to Regiment Training Center. Shout out to Lozon MMA for all the sparring rounds. My teammates, you know, Mitch Raposo, Matty Franco, Chris Mutino, Jorgen De Castro, all the Savages, my coaches, Brian and Tommy, you know. Shout out my sponsors, Ultimate Potential CBD. If you're in the market for some good CBD, some better sleep, anxiety relief, help with appetite, they're the go-to. Shout out to my girl, Vanessa, over at Be Kind, Please Revive. She's a great massage therapist, major key in helping with my recovery from training and whatnot. Shout out to just New England MMA in general for all the support for their New England fighters. If you want some short fuse merch, check out the NewEnglandMMA.org website. We got some fire shit over there. Yeah, and August 21st, tune in, man. NEF. It's gonna be fireworks. I'm gonna finish this kid, and I'm gonna put on a dominating performance.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it. August 21st. Don't forget to check it out. Aaron Short Fuse Hughes, thank you so much for showing up with us. And guys, don't forget to head over to thefightanalyst.com and get my picks today. Let's make this money this weekend. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more MMA content. With that said, we will see you all catching up at the ticket window. Until next time, you guys have a great night. Adios.
Oh, yeah.